I'm trying right now. There we go. Okay, we're live now. Welcome
All
everybody
that.
to Hero Shack Chronicles. I'm Chris. This is Diana, and we
Hello,
appear to be having
hello.
Wi-Fi signal problems, which
I
is
know,
really the
right?
internet. However, we will try to persevere and go through and have a somewhat of a show.
Right. Somewhat of a show. I love it.
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about what's going on.
Hmm.
Working hard on Cyclopian #1, the
You
first issue
are.
ever. Actually got to contact the man behind Captain Aura because Captain Aura is a character that's coming into the book. He's a mentor to Cyclopian, and he's actually based on a comic book character that I was doing when I was a wee bitty one,
Ouch.
a little teenager,
I was
from
going
the
to say, weren't
same
you like a
universe that
teeny?
Cyclopian came from.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, back then, Cyclopian was the bad guy, and Captain Aura, along with 3 of his best friends, me being one of them, would fight crime as the Titans of Justice. And yes, I actually did comic books when I was a kid based on those characters. But when bringing Cyclopian into his own series, I decided I wanted to try to have like a little bit of fun with the old characters. And Captain Aura was the most memorable one. He was the most fun for this particular storyline, so I used him. And I heard from Tony this week, and that was cool. I sent him a rough of what we have in Cyclopean so far. He seemed ecstatic, and that made me quite happy
Mm-hmm.
because, it's always nice to get a little validation from somebody who knows the start of all that stuff.
Yeah.
Actually, I don't know if it's always nice. That was just the first time I was like, oh my gosh, what if he doesn't like it? But he was
Mm.
cool. So, yeah, I can show you guys a little bit of what I've been working on. I must warn you, there is a very special addition to Cyclopean 1. And I guess that's the big news for the night because Kid Clopian is in the works.
Right.
Yes. And that's going to be a lot of fun. Do you know anything about Kid Clopian, honey?
I know that you've been working on him, and it is the childhood of Cyclopean.
Yes, it is.
So, and it looks super adorable. By the way, today is May 19th, not the 18th, my dear.
Hey,
Just
you know
letting you
what?
know.
Don't challenge me on that.
I'm not, well, I can, but I
No,
won't.
don't.
Don't. Please don't. Please.
So this stuff we've already shown everybody, and I'm kind of zooming through it because, of course, I don't want to give out spoilers. And I guess
Mm-hmm.
the silly thing is people could find out anyways if they ran that back. Anyways, so new stuff. There's a whole bunch of new pages before this, but I want to show you guys Forevertron. Now, this is
Mm-hmm.
the first adversary Cyclopean will face in terms of major power. He's not the first
Mm-hmm.
villain that Cyclopean will face, but this character will be around for a while, and there's a reason, and we'll unfold that. And it's a really cool
Right.
story. I know because I wrote it, and I already know how it goes. But you guys will soon be able to join in. Now, this is the official data sheet of Cyclopean, top secret. Ooh. And in this, you'll learn the secrets of his strength, his speed, his durability. You'll learn a little tidbit about his origin and a special note about, him. I don't want to give it away, but again, if it's coming through in the stream and it's high res enough, you'll probably see it. So
Mm-hmm.
this is Kid Clopian in the works. Right now, it's entirely line art. I think I'm going to go with a cell shaded coloring technique,
Mm-hmm.
partially for speed and also to differentiate it from the Cyclopean book. It's a
Mm-hmm.
backup story. As you can see, it's more cartoony. The characters have more of a propensity to look cartoony, like they're freaking out. This is Cyclopean, poor Cyclopean, and as you can see, the bees cannot sting him, while the other
Love it.
members of the group are running around. Now, this is the really rough art, but I want to jump. Yeah, let me do this because
Okay.
you really can't see it there because I haven't added it. But we're going to the gallery here. Anybody who knows Procreate is familiar with this, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And let's pull it up from here. And you can see I've started to form okay, so that's where he's saving the beehive more or less. Let's see, where was the one I wanted to show you guys? That was already shown. And of course, honey, I need a new iPad. This is getting slow.
Nope.
It's very slow switching the windows. This is a cool scene because it shows everybody in the group that Cyclopian hangs with. So Kid Clopian is going to be titled Kid Clopian and his three bestest friends. And right here, let me see if I can get this to zoom. Really rough. You can see the little girl there. That's Zoe the zombie.
Mm-hmm.
Cyclopian, of course, is right there. That's the Kid Clopian. The guy behind him is, help me here, Domio Dosho. Jimmy Domo Dosho.
I wasn't going to say anything. You and your names.
The blob on the right is the blue blob named Billy. Let me see if I have a better picture of them. I think I do. But these guys are kind of unique and they're cool and they're part of the supporting cast. Here's a good shot of them. And in this shot, you can see Domodosho has a devil and an angel on either shoulder. That is actually what the scientists believe to be a psychic manifestation from the boy himself. But that's another story. The blob, he's quite a blob, but as he grows older, he forms more humanoid features, just like his daddy. Zoe the zombie is a complicated character, but basically she emulates a zombie in most every way. As you can see, Cyclopian is pulling away from her because at this point she wants to play tag, and they are resisting to it because... Can you read that for me?
I can't read that. No, I can't see anything.
You can't read that? That means bite. Because the last time they tried to play tag...
Bite. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Like, I'm so bad. I'm looking for words. Sorry.
No, it's sign language.
It does mean
so
bite.
we're putting more sign language in the book.
I see that.
It's going to be very cool for me. I have to learn how to really speak it, but this is a nice little cheat into getting to learn it, because I'm drawing it. But yeah, so that's Kid Clopian, a little preview there. Those of you familiar with the local schools here might recognize at least half of this school. It's modeled on half of the local elementary school here. And as you can see, it's called Icon Elementary. Yeah. There's the playground back there. Ooh.
I like it. What? Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice little building.
It's a nice little building.
Yeah, it's really cool. We could look at this stuff all night. That's Forevertron's little fortress out in the wilderness.
Right.
And see, he's actually finding out about Cyclopian from TV. And that's going to be a problem for him, as you'll discover when you back the book. And speaking of backing the book, quite soon we'll have the early sign up. Then we'll run a 30-day campaign. The budget will be set at $500. Of course, we hope to exceed that by, many, many multiples. But if we don't, the reason that we keep it low is so that anybody who is interested will still get their package.
Right.
This book will probably be released in other places in other ways, but you'll never get it the way that we send it in our crowdfunding. So yeah, this will be the once in the book's lifetime to get the bling, to get the extras, all the stuff we always put in our packages. Those of you who just got cluster fudge or are about to get it, let us know what you think. We've already had some comments. It's been really good. But yeah, there's more packages due to hit. We know they'll all be delivered by Saturday, if we are to believe the USPS. And that's exciting. It's good to get that done. That project is interesting. I hope that it goes over well with the readers. I would love to do a sequel, especially with my artwork improving every issue, every book. Yeah. I'm sure the next one would be quite entertaining. However, for now, we're focusing on Cyclopian, who will be my regular running series. If we do another cluster fudge too, it'll probably be sometime in the next year. Whereas by that time, I hope to have 10 to 12 issues of Cyclopian done. If I go bi-monthly, it'll be 6. But if I go monthly, it'll be 12. So we're shooting for somewhere around there. You guys can just enjoy the ride because this is going to be a blast. We've really got this thought out. And I can only smile because I know it's coming. Right now, the book is in the process of being polished. I
Hmm.
found that my way of making books is different, and yet I can still do the scripting thing because Cyclopian has a rough script. I sent it to Diana before I started drawing it.
Hmm. It's
But
good.
drawing it, you saw the later pages where it was really rough. That's how it starts. I do, and
Hmm.
like Jace, the other show was talking about thumbnails and stuff. I honestly do
Right.
my thumbnails on a full size canvas, so they don't just
Hmm.
act as thumbnails; they become the roughs that become the pages. And it
Right.
might sound like that would be complicated to some people, but doing it
Hmm.
digitally, it allows me to adjust the layout, to totally scrub the layout if I don't like it, or just play with it and adjust it.
Hmm.
Like in the
Hmm.
second page of Cyclopian, we had to adjust the old man in the mountain because he was way too small at the bottom of the
Right.
page. That was possible because of digital. Had I done that on
Mm.
traditional medium, that could have been a lot more difficult. It would have required more.
Fancy background. You
Oh,
know
you like
that
that?
it's like, well, it was kind of crazy fancy for a second.
Yeah, it
When you're
changes.
talking, it's very no, but I know the background changes, but I'm just saying the internet's wicked laggy.
So it's doing robotic stuff.
Yeah. But even if I like, I'm trying to look at some
Does
comments
it
and
help
stuff.
if I hold the microphone up here?
No, it's not the it's not the odd. It's not.
I
It's
know
not
what you're
the.
saying.
It's
So
the
maybe we
visual.
shouldn't do the whole show
Hmm.
due to bad
Well,
internet.
I don't know. It's just weird, you know.
Well, we have actively 3 viewers. If any of
Okay.
you guys out there can tell us what you're hearing or seeing, that would be great. Because
Okay.
apparently Diana's not seeing it very well, but that could be our internet service that you're looking at is not doing well with what you
Right.
know what I mean? Like it could be just a cluster fudge.
Mm-hmm.
Get it?
Right. Got it.
Now
Ha
that's
ha
going to
ha
be
ha.
available for sale real soon. We're going to be looking at opening. I'm going to be looking at opening an Etsy store so
Oh,
that we
you
can carry our
are.
back
I did not
catalog.
know this.
Yes, I
Are
am.
you going to be
Um,
managing it all and all? You're like
no,
taking
I'm
it
going to
all
hand it
away
over to
from
you
me.
once I set it up.
Yeah.
But
Well, that's not going to be good.
well, we'll work on it together.
Okay.
All right. But the whole idea will be we'll still be able to give packages the way that we like to give packages. We'll have the book available. I believe it might be on one of the web distribution centers, Cosmicology or Webcom, what's it called? Webtoons. Uh,
Yes.
it could be Indie Planet, although I don't think Indie Planet gets enough traffic. I'm not sure. So there will be other ways to get these books, but to get the books with our special spin, we'll have to open up our own store to handle that. And yeah,
Excuse me.
that's everything I got. That's in a nutshell. That is my show, and I'm sticking to it. So, honey, bring something to the show. Bring some excitement. How's your stories coming?
I'm so sorry. I was just literally, I'm very, had a long day and I'm a little dehydrated. Hold on. Hmm. Well, the truth be told, I have not worked or picked up my pen for any creative um, endeavor for about 3 weeks, and I very much miss it. I have been so busy with doing everything around the house. So, anyway, I don't know where my husband went to. He kind of left me here. The creator left the
No, I'm
show. Oh,
still here.
no.
I'm just
I
focusing
don't,
on you, but you're right. The bit rate looks horrible.
and you're there, but it doesn't show you on the camera.
I know what I'm doing. I did this.
Oh,
Hey, look at that! Hey, I was playing. I
I
was
got
doing
a
producer stuff. See,
I
like
got
this.
hurt today.
Is that a middle finger that you're shooting me?
It is, but I got hurt. Look at I picked your favorite color.
I think you just did that so you could give me the finger.
Ah, I got hurt. I got hurt by a
This is a
toothpick.
family show.
A toothpick. I got
Well,
pinched by a toothpick and
that,
bled.
that's interesting.
Well, anyways, you put me in charge of talking, and I'm waiting for you to. Oh, and by the way, the Kickstarter stuff that you were referring to is unaccessible by me because I don't know what you did.
I
I
did
don't have
nothing.
the
All you have to do is
password.
log into the account.
Yeah, I have my account, not your account info. So we'll
It's
talk
our
after.
account, but I'll show you later.
Okay, that sounds good because I want to
Or I'll
check out
add
what
you
you've
as an
done.
admin. That might be the best way, so you can just go in through your email.
That'd be really nice if you did that.
I will.
So I haven't been writing much. I've been thinking a lot in my head. I got a lot of stuff in my head that I want to start working on, and I will do that. I've been focusing on getting my yard ready for the summer so I can enjoy my writing and my greenhouse and all that. But I'm very excited about Cluster Fudge getting to our viewers because I'm hoping that they will drop us a line and let us know how they liked it.
Well, comments, like I said, are coming in. One came in over Indiegogo. I got to read it in
Mhm.
notifications, but I haven't been there to respond. And it was positive. It was good.
Well,
I'm waiting to hear from other people.
mhm.
It's a different kind of book. I don't know how the reader will deal with it, how they'll absorb it, but I think it's going to go off well. I think it's pretty cool. With that said, of course, I say this after every book. You ain't seen nothing yet. Cyclopian's art is just starting to get mind-numbingly awesome. And I'm not saying like, okay, put me up to John Byrne and you'll see how great it. No, I'm saying for me, I'm hitting new milestones, just like every issue.
Mhm.
Every issue is a learning experience. It's a growing experience. Only now I'm really solid and feel it. I really am starting to hit my stride, and I can't wait to bring you guys along for the ride because this is it for a while. This is going to be the adventure. This character
Mhm.
is going to be uplifting and entertaining and fun, and yet he's going to pull your heartstrings and make you giggle and maybe even occasionally shed a tear. But it'll be a manly.
Maybe.
It'll be manly.
And he's only got one eye, so it'll be just one tear, right?
Well, yes, yes. He's unique like that. It is challenging dealing with a deaf mute character who
Mhm.
is your lead character. And of course, I have the liberty of still using voice balloons, just like I do the
Right.
other characters,
Yeah.
but I have the responsibility to show at least one of the words signed from the balloon character when he talks. I'm not taking as much care with Cyclopian to do that, but I am trying to
Mhm.
do that with every panel with Cyclopian.
Right. No, I know you
Cyclopian
are.
is more cartoonish.
Mhm.
Cyclopian is more comic bookish, if that makes sense. And I think Cyclopian is still my favorite, even though Cyclopian's cool.
Well, he's like an extension of you.
Yeah, well, not really. I don't look that handsome. And let's face it, this bod is not Cyclopian's.
It's okay.
Right?
I
Right?
think it's going to do very well.
Mhm.
Um, and I'm excited to see the end product. And I'm excited to see what you've put up so far in the Kickstarter.
Yes.
Hmm.
Well, I could
I
show it.
responded, by the way, I responded to the person that placed a comment on.
Excellent.
I
Cool.
did. That's what I was just doing now.
Very
I
nice.
think it's important that we communicate with our backers and
Oh, heck yeah.
people who
And
support us.
now more than ever, it's important that we don't drop the ball, especially with like productions.
Hmm.
With Cluster Fudge, we said we were shipping it. We did it. It's done.
Yeah.
Now we're going into Cyclopian. I haven't launched it yet because, quite frankly, it's not quite ready.
Yep.
We are not going to be a publisher that announces a book until it is ready.
Hmm.
And that is kind of part of our guarantee to you guys that when you order our book, you're actually going to get it. You're going to get it in a timely fashion.
Well, I
And
was going to say you're going to get it in a timely
right.
fashion.
Well,
Hi,
no,
Jake.
first you have to say you're going to get it because a lot of these guys out there haven't been delivering their books at all. And it's like,
Hmm.
well, not a lot, but enough that it's concerning. And some just take years to do it. And that will never be our mantra. If God took both my hands, that would be horrible, but I would hire somebody to finish my run if I had to. But by doing the book before we announce it, I don't have to worry about that. If God takes my hands, it just means that's the last project. But he's not going to take my hands as far as I know, so let's not talk about that.
Hmm. So
That's
Jace is in the room. Well, Jace is in Facebook.
How are you, young man, Jace? He's in YouTube.
Oh,
He
now he's
bounced
gone
over.
to YouTube. Yeah.
And Lorenzo is here too as well.
Hi,
So,
Lorenzo.
gentlemen, let me share the link if you want to come in. We've been talking about Cyclopian and Kidclopian. It's a very exciting time. And I got to talk to Mr. Anthony Tony, who is the inspiration for Cyclopian's mentor from my childhood years. So that's kind of exciting. I mean, he liked what he saw, and it was a good representation of the character. And that's really what I wanted to know, whether or not that was working out the way I thought it was. Diana disappeared on me. So, oh, look, there she is. Are you? Yeah, you're eating and being very discreet, so I appreciate it. I can't hear you for the most part. Hey, look. Can you see who's in the back room?
I can't see anybody in the back room.
I have to figure out how to make you an admin.
Talk about washed out camera.
What's that, bro?
Talk about washed out camera. Oh God, what do I do?
Yours or mine?
Mine.
It's just
that's how I used to be. You gotta. I actually turned my screen light down because it was so bright that I looked like a ghost.
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
but you look horrible all the time. You look like you're in a dark closet.
Who, me?
Yeah, we need to get you some lighting and some background stuff.
Well, I could put my light on like this, but then you see my sewing room. It's not very
that's
cool.
a weird setup because you should have black stuff behind you, shouldn't you?
Well, I do, but it's a wide screen, so it picks up my
saying.
sewing stuff. See, now if I turned it, I think if I went like this.
Yeah, then you get the other stuff. Yeah, it's weird.
I just need a screen. I'll get one.
So how you doing, Jace?
I'm well. Still working a dead-end job, sending out applications every day.
Perfect.
Always pressing on, moving forward, hopefully. I'm actually, interestingly enough, tomorrow's supposed to do a stream with Kyle.
Oh, nice.
Got lots of ideas for art streams, but I sent him a thing and I was like, hey, I keep trying to figure out how to do art streams with people, but we haven't had any solid plans. When are you free? And he said, Thursday, but you have class. And I said, I don't have class. Class is over.
Is it really?
Yeah, it ended last week. Bittersweet. It was a good class. I'm going to miss the figure drawing professor. He was a really cool guy. He was funny. He was like, oh, I'm still around. Reach out. And I was like, you don't actually want to have to talk to me outside of class. Like,
he may. Why not?
Yeah, you do tend to get people like you. It's funny.
Yeah, I don't know. I'd love to hang out with them. We hung out for like half an hour after class was actually done. Me and two of the other students, and we all were just sitting there talking. And so anyway.
But that's because you're likable and easy to talk to, Jace. That's why I can see why your professor would want to keep in touch. Plus, you have some talent there, kiddo. You're working on your skill and you're taking it serious. So, yeah, those are all good things,
I took a little break last week because I bought Resident Evil 8 and I had to beat that. And I had to do it quickly because I couldn't get it off my mind. And I didn't want to see any spoilers before I finished it.
Right.
Which didn't work. Still saw some jerk in somebody else's chat drop a spoiler that was completely unrelated to the stream I was watching. He's just like, hey, by the way, in Resident Evil 8, blah, 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 blah. I was like, there it is. But the way they rolled out the story in the game, I thought I saw the spoiler, and then there was a twist, and then the spoiler actually happened. So I was like, oh cool. I still got surprised.
That's awesome. I know it's a game that you really enjoy playing.
Yeah, lifelong series.
Yeah.
One of the ones that Dad shouldn't have introduced me to as a first grader or whatever, but I'm glad he did.
I have to remind you, you kind of insisted. And
absolutely.
When I played it with you, you would hide under the blankets, under my arms. You would like, is it over yet? Yep, okay. And you'd watch for a while, and then the zombie thing would make you jump, and you'd hide for a few minutes. It was great.
Well,
so you haven't asked what that thing on.
It's always been one of my favorite series.
Yes, it was a good one.
The kid Cyclopian stuff?
Yeah. That's his whole little gang. Although I'm still perfecting drawing them.
Well, you sent me the cover art.
Oh, that's not cover art, but it was concept art, yeah. I'm not going to use that
Okay.
as
Kind of like it could have been a cover.
Yeah, it was drawn like that, but I won't use it because by the time I get there, these guys will have much different looks. I'm starting to, pay attention to manga art and trying to get little tips off of them, so to speak, just to make it differentiate from the comic.
I mean, so like I would say like the boy on the right there with the angel and devil, like I don't know if it fits your style, but like to make him look more childish, I would give him larger eyes.
Yep.
Maybe, yeah.
His left arm, it's hard to tell like how long it actually is because of the forced perspective, but like for a child, the right,
funny, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Yep.
and for a child, the right arm looks a little long.
Yeah.
But kids are so weird because it's just like you have to make a tiny body with a head that's as large as it's ever gonna be, but also like the eyes are too big because like somehow they eventually fill in, but for a while it's just like, what are those giant holes on your head? Oh, they're your eyes.
And when you're doing
so
when you're taking manga influences into account, this is pre-manga. The more I look at it, like I've been looking at the eye styles, the way they do their noses, the way they do their mouths. And I'm not going to become a manga artist, but I want to have more of that flavor when I do the Kidclopian stuff.
Right.
Because literally I'd like to target 2 different books, one for superhero fans and one for the kids, because when we go to conventions, I like to have something for both of them, and there's not a lot strictly for kids in our stuff. Right. Most of it, I have to look at the parents and say, well, I'd look at it first. I'd say it's okay for 11 and up.
Yeah. I saw you sent me something. I don't know if it was today or yesterday. I've got something I got to look over.
Oh, was that something I sent you?
Actually, it was Monday. It's a draft.
Yeah, it's a really rough draft, but it's the whole idea behind the Kidclopian story. And what I did was I wrote out the story roughly. And then I did the thumbnails, which are actually, I was talking about this. My thumbnails are actually the roughs for the whole page, the way I do it. And then they get adjusted until they become pages. And then as it gets closer, that's when the colors and the lettering is finalized. Right. But
that's why I didn't. That's why I didn't read it initially. It was at 7:30, and I was probably psyching myself up. Yeah.
You know what was funny? I got up and wrote that in like an hour, and then it just I just started drawing it, and I've gone back now and replaced 2 panels, but many of them are going to be just redone because they're just not where I want them. But it's because it's digital, it's so easy, and especially with the more cartoony look, the whole idea behind that is to make it even faster.
Right.
And the cartoony look can be, it has certain flavors to it, but it can be much quicker than the photorealism or the superhero cartoons or any of that stuff. When you get into that Nickelodeon range, you can get away with real crappy arms, for instance. Like I'm learning how to draw noodle arms.
It's a lot more just shape language too. Like you can rely more on just like this character is friendly, so its head's just a big old circle. You don't have to worry about anyone saying, "Hey, your cranium is really big compared to the jaw, and the ear doesn't line up proportionally with the nose and the eyebrows." Like everyone just kind of goes,
as long as you do it consistently, it can become your style.
Yeah,
for that cartoon. Krista gave me a good piece of advice too. She said, if you want it to look cartoony, draw it in as few lines as possible. And I found that to be true too. Less detail is more when you're trying to make a kid's book, it seems.
Yeah.
And even just like keeping the shading super flat.
Like a simple 2-shaded cell shading is what I'm thinking of. Very anime-like, where they have like the darker line down below the chin, which kind of defines, and it's not really a realistic shadow, but somehow it looks good. So I just need to take that influence and incorporate it into that section.
Actually, even a lot of cartoons just totally ditch the shading. I'm just looking at some references.
Oh, they do. Yeah, a lot of them are just flat, just total flat. And that may be the way to go for speed. And then we would have somewhere to go later if we wanted to put it out in its own book. We could then cell shade it.
I'm looking at one here where so the colors are all flat, and then anything that's shadow, it's just bold or black.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
almost more of like the contrast than the actual color. It's not a style that I go to a lot, but like a while ago, someone wanted me to draw a family member for their birthday, and I was just like, oh, I'll do it like a cartoon, so I don't spend 4.5 hours on this thing.
Right.
But I ended up liking it just as its own simple little thing.
Well, that's good. You know?
So we're getting ever closer to Cyclopian launching, and if this is what I hope it is, it's going to be really exciting. You heard that I talked to Tony, right?
Yeah, I heard that just as I was switching from YouTube to StreamYard.
That was so cool because Tony is like my childhood best friend.
Is he the guy you did ninja stuff with?
Yes.
Okay.
He's a crazy guy. He's still doing that kind of stuff in his backyard. He set up apparently he's got a course with throwing knives and all sorts
awesome.
Oh yeah, he's crazy, man. I'm telling you, he sent a video showing me. He's sitting there, and I think it was right after his hip surgery, but he's sitting there tossing knives into trees, and they're yeah, he's still Tony. But it was very encouraging because, believe it or not, I always feel like nobody sees what I'm doing, and I don't know if it's getting any better or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And he had fresh eyes and was really excited and really liked the art. So that was a huge confidence builder.
Yes, you were very excited. You were very pumped. Well, I suppose anybody would feel the same way if one of my childhood friends came and we talked. He's like, "Oh my God," I'd be excited too.
Well, plus he's a comic geek. He always has been, just like me. So to have a comic guy sitting there, and yes, he's going to be a little biased because he knows me from childhood, but he wasn't just being stupid. He was like, he liked the anatomy on the character. He liked this, he liked that. I'm like, oh, this is so cool. Thank you, Tony. I'm glad you're not going to sue me for bringing back his old teenage character that I had.
I mean, that's all really good for building confidence too, though. Like when I showed Ryan Dobson some stuff and he was pretty stoked about it, and like even Krista looked at my sketchbook and was going through, she's like, wow, you've improved a lot. It's like, nice, like, somebody notices.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
It's that same mentality with going to the gym where it like takes 2 weeks for you to notice, 4 weeks for the people close to you, and
right.
8 weeks for people you don't see often. And it's like, oh, finally, like
somebody's it's paying off. Yay.
I got to find a workout regimen because I've really got to trim down for the summer here. I'm not looking good in terms of I can't wear my half shirts, my muscle shirt.
Yeah, you don't have any of
this
those.
huge thing on the front of me called a gut.
Yeah.
And it's weird because psychologically I forget it's there, but like it is, you know what I mean? Like I walk around with it, I live with it, but I need to burn that crap off.
Well, sounds like an ultra, like something totally like an alien. I live with it, I forget it's still there.
Well, I do. You guys don't understand. Like you would think, how do you miss that gut in the front of your body? But you do. You just mentally, I still feel like the 20-year-old when I go get moving, Well,
that's the kind of anything with your body that's there for long enough. You're like, yeah, that's just there, and I don't think about it.
Right, exactly.
Even now, like sometimes I see the back of my leg and I'm like, oh shit, yeah, I have a tattoo. I'm like, I forget that's there. I've had kids be like, funny. You have that thing on your leg. And I'm like, a thing on my leg? Is there a tick? And I'll look and I'm like, oh, you mean that's right. The forever picture that I had etched into my skin.
Oh my God. That's funny.
Yeah, it is.
So I'm just having fun with the video while we talk. I hope you guys don't mind.
I don't know what you're doing.
That can't be a long-term background. That's
it's giving me like
that's nauseating.
I can't even I can't even look at him anymore.
Then you get the cool spiderweb lightning. There it goes. It's in slow motion.
Thunderstorms are always good.
Yeah, but not the one I was originally doing. Check this out. This one was as bad as that star thing.
Well,
hang on, turn it on.
Star thing's the worst.
So this is the original lightning. And we thought this might induce seizures.
Oh, yeah. I can imagine people having photosensitivity. Yeah, you should turn that off before someone...
Yeah, hang on. I'm doing it now.
I can't even look at it. I'm like looking over to the side of the thing. I'm like...
This is my default. This is what I put on when I just want to chill.
That is a good default.
Yeah, see the clouds move, but they cycle back. They loop back and forth.
Mm.
Nice and gentle. It's very beautiful. It's soothing. When I'm stressed,
Well-
I just put it on and look at it.
Well, hey, listen.
Yeah.
We still haven't done our art stream because I never know when I can catch you. But
So any night after 4:30, I'm available. And yeah, we need to, because I keep meaning to. And what happens is I get lost in my work, and like I look up and it's 6:30, and I look up again and it's 11:30, and I'm like, wow, I had the stream going. I was watching something else, and I was drawing, and I forgot all about doing a stream myself.
yeah, and as a general rule, I don't text people too much about things anymore. Like I have somebody that kept saying she wanted to go run, and I did 3 weekends in a row. I tried to schedule a run, and then I said, all right, I've done my due diligence. You clearly don't actually want to go
I
do
know how
this.
that goes. Yep.
Yeah. So
I've been learning that life is full of disappointments, and it's all because of my own expectations. I think everybody wants to be a hero. I think everybody wants to be a superhero. I think we all want to be righteous and noble and proud and true, and it's not really true. It's just what I think in my head, and I have to learn that, because once I understand the reality of it, I won't be so disappointed by everything.
yeah, I'm just accepting more and more that there's no company that actually cares about your well-being. You have to put you first because they're going to take as much as they can get for as little as possible. And you either got to love what you do or it's got to pay well enough to
Make it, yeah, worth it.
I got to move these bags. I left them on the cat's yoga mat.
That sounds terrific.
Oh,
Sorry about
you
that.
talk about me? You talk
What
about
was
me.
that? It sounded like you just went over there and like had a box of glass that you put your fist in or something.
That's my brother-in-law is getting married and his bachelor parties this weekend, so I got like 6 bags of chips today so I could
Very
bring
nice.
those,
Sounded
'cause-
good.
Yeah, we're going for the ASMR. I think Kyle's probably going to eat some. Oh, I shouldn't mention it because Kyle will purposely eat a Dorito into the mic if he knows we're avoiding it. I've mentioned it to Sean on a stream before, and he goes, "Oh, this."
Diana's classic for that. Every show she eats, but tonight she did really well. She muted the mic when she was playing with whatever it was she was eating. And
Well,
the only reason I knew she was eating was because she went down with food. Very nice.
When we used to do our group stream with me, Sean, and Kay, Kay was infamous for like not doing anything the hour before stream, and the second we hit going live, it was like, okay, well, I got this bag of chips here. And then
I'm okay with bags of chips. What really gets me is paper bags. I don't know if you
No,
remember.
you're not. You don't like any.
No, I don't like it,
noise.
but like paper bags would drive me nuts. Do you remember the youth group night? We watched The Passion of Christ, and
Yeah.
my sweet wife handed out, I don't know, 20 bags of popcorn in paper bags, and there were 20 kids just shuffling through the paper bags.
Wait, for the Passion of the Christ, did we really sit there and eat popcorn while a dude
Yeah.
had his flesh?
You really
ripped
did.
off?
She handed it out, and you guys ate it.
Well, that
Yeah.
was probably mid
You guys were young
10,000.
too.
Yeah, I can imagine at that point we're like, yeah, I've seen this like 17 times. Like,
My parents took me 3 times. My pastor showed it once at church. My friend's mother had it on the other day. Yeah, it was everywhere for a while.
you know what's bad? I remember when you brought Mike and I to see it in theaters. We went and we saw it, and you're like, all right, I'm going to bring you guys to lunch. And I don't remember if you ate, but I remember Mike was like, I can't eat after that. And
Yeah,
I was
Mike
like,
was-
yeah, I'll get the chicken fries, Coke. And
Yeah, Mike was pretty blown away, but then it was weird because both you guys kind of took a turn away from that stuff. So I was like, ooh, maybe I was wrong in letting them see that.
oh no, that
You know what I'm
wasn't a
saying,
deal
though? It's
breaker.
like, oops, that didn't have the effect I expected.
I think the deal breakers were all the pastors where I was like, oh, you guys are you know the curriculum, you just don't follow it.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Yeah. Well, Christianity plays a role in Cyclopian's life in a way, because while he's in training, Tony drags him to church quite a few times, and he gets a little bit pissy about it, so to speak, because he's like, what's that?
I do think I remember seeing a panel of that. I haven't.
Yeah, with him getting dragged into church, and he's like, "Shut up! It's Easter. It's what we do."
Well, I think I saw it before it had the words on it, and I was like, "Hey, this looks like us back in Royalston with the dad getting excited and bumping the whole pew and being like, 'Come on, guys!' And we're like, 'Yeah, we're doing this one again.'"
Yeah, we're here again. It's kind of funny though, because that is exactly how it was like growing up with Tony. He would drag you off into a Catholic mass, and once mom was busy, we could go out the back and smoke cigarettes and hang out by the river, and then come back before the end, and we were just fine. So I incorporated that because it adds personality and familiarity and character to the characters themselves. And I want them to have a good relationship. They're going to be together for a while, because I don't know how to carry a book with just a sign language guy. I have to learn more sign language to make that work properly.
Well, and sign language is one of those things that can really be challenging too, because there's so many variations. So I would stick to, like, if you're going to actually focus on the hands, he's doing sign language, like, just do basic ones. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't do
eventually I want to know enough sign language so that we can be in a convention and somebody walks up and I can say, "Hello, how are you?"
Then you should sign up for a course.
Yes, I should. I just haven't yet. I've been making a book faster than most people can bake a cake.
I'm just putting it out there. Sorry.
I've got to find something for you.
Ooh, I'm interested.
It's just, I gotta go to the YouTube channel that turned me on to the comic to begin with, because I can't remember what the comic's called. It's a comic that has no words though, but the character and the story through the images is so expressive that you don't really need the words.
Yeah. Hey, by the way, did you see rough number 4 of Cyclopian yet?
No, that's what I was talking about. You sent really early Monday, and I think I saw it before I left for work, and then...
Well, I sent a rough of the comic, and then I sent a rough of the script for Cyclopian.
You sent a thing...
What's that?
You sent a thing at one point, and you said something about, like... I think you said this was, like, the rough, but I didn't see any attachment, and it was just the one line.
Oh, yeah, in a text. If you click it, it opens up a note. I shared a note with you from Apple. It's all Apple infrastructure. That's what the script was in. But
I don't
the rough of the comic, I actually took out dialogue that you said was unnecessary when they found Cyclopian in the pod.
Mm-hmm.
So I stripped that down of all the extra dialogue that was with it until the woman gets sick to her stomach when they see Cyclopian eat. So you influenced the book. I just thought I'd tell you. That was kind of cool.
Thanks.
Yeah.
I love that you don't show that, so that it's just going to be up to everyone.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of like the fun of, like, pixel art games, where it's like, yeah, like, the artist has done some of the work, but also you do the rest. And
I thought that would be a clever thing, because, to be honest, I don't know how to make it very disgusting. Everything I could think of, unless it was something nearly pornographic, was just like, like what? Okay, his eyeball pops out and he eats through his eye hole, or does the chest open up?
But I like the fact that you don't even reference
right, exactly. By not giving any
like,
definition, the person's left wondering, like, what the heck is
uses their imagination.
Yeah,
I like that.
I think that engrosses people in it more too.
Thanks, Lorenzo. That's a really good point.
Yeah, the trick is, and I'm learning this, is there's a balance where you need enough text to tell your story, make it unique, and make it gripping, but not so much that people look at it and go, "Oh my God, it's a wall of text. I will not read this. I'm going to skip it."
Like in the good old days.
Yeah, well, I had skipped plenty of boxes in comics, and then had to go back and read it, because by the end of the book, I realized I was missing something.
Right.
Which was really frustrating, because then you're reading like 6 paragraphs on one page that some writer at Marvel had to squish in because they had a page limit. And that's not the way it should be done.
No.
And being independent, it doesn't have to be that way. We can stretch our book as long as we want.
I I might have to do more research on this because I can't find what this thing was called. I'm echoing somewhere.
Not here. You sound good here.
I don't know. I can hear myself.
I can hear you. I can hear the echo, Chase.
I can't. Maybe it's off of my speaker.
Could be. Oh, anyway, it's a really cool visual novel about, like, it's just this little T-Rex, and he's a dinosaur, so of course there's no dialogue. It's just his
Just
little
pictures.
silly adventures.
That's awesome.
But I love that form of storytelling where it's just like, yeah, you're gonna follow the action, and that's kind of the children's book I would write, the one with no words.
Have you guys ever heard of the author? You probably have, Jace, of Mo Willems.
Oh yeah, I love Mo.
Love that. And that's kind of similar to what you're talking about from what I'm gathering. Like there's a little bit of text and the pictures like say so much. The expressions. I just read 3 of them today to my kiddos, and I was looking at it and I was thinking,
Jason's
like,
saying the book he was showing or looking for
had no text,
no
right?
text. Yeah.
Well,
Right.
Mo is interesting because his work gets everything across through dialogue.
Yeah.
It's a really, really great book for teaching dialogue between characters because it just makes kids focus on, like, get rid of I picked up my pencil, I started to write. Like, you just do what's in quotes.
Yep.
And yeah, he's got, like, wonderful expression because he does it with the characters. And some of the books, he does it with the actual text itself. You know, he'll, like, make it bold and shaky and he'll change the color. And it's like, this is the kind of thing you can do to be expressive because, you know, a lot of 3rd graders wrote very flat, like, I went to the store, it was fun, my mom brought me home.
Right. But it was what I was saying is that there's not a lot of text on the pitch on each page, but if you really look at the pictures, they say more than the text, like some of the expressions of Gerald and things like that. I was making note of that today when I was reading the books to the kids.
Hopefully we can come up with something like that. With the creation of Kidclopian, with Diana working out her own story, we will be looking to find an artist to help with this stuff. In Kidclopian, I'm hoping to make such a basic cartoony trademark type guy that anybody can draw him once they learn the basics, you know, like kind of like the Simpsons. If you sit down and actually learn all the shapes and ways they make the Simpson heads, you can draw them all in no time.
Let me see Kidclopian.
The Immortal Hulk comics I read didn't show the Hulk's violence. Hitchcock, likewise, didn't show the woman's body being stabbed in Psycho. The viewer had to imagine what happened. Very true. And forever I will love the Psycho scene because I saw in some documentary it was Hershey chocolate, and that was just so cool. Because it was a black and white. The blood was Hershey's chocolate syrup. But it looks like blood in black and white.
Yeah, you just need something high contrast that...
Yeah. Very interesting little tidbit of trivia there. Because, you know, at the time, it looked real. And by leaving the actual violence out, the imagination fills that hole, and it can be more graphic than ever imagined on film.
I think I'm looking at Kidclopian now, just thinking about what you were saying of, like, keeping them so simple anyone can draw them.
Yeah, he's got to be made more simple, but I actually stumbled across a really cool body type for him where it's kind of like a upside down candy corn. He's definitely like an inverted triangle character. Yep. But I found that the heavier I make his top end, the more funny he looks. Like the more kid-like he can look. If I make him like with a small body and a huge corn head, so that's kind of where I'm headed. But I look at the very first ones that I'm doing now of them, kind of like the way I look at the Simpsons first run or the South Park when they first started. Hopefully these characters will evolve into something completely unique, but they're starting off rough and they have room to grow. They have a lot.
How old is Kidclopian?
What's that?
How old is Kidclopian?
He would be 9 or 10-ish. I'm thinking 3rd, 4th grade.
Okay. This little girl on the playground with them looks like she's like maybe 20.
Well, that's Zoe the zombie, so I'm going to have a tough time. I have to make her
look not her. There's a panel that's like a shot of like a basketball court, and it looks
Oh
like a
yes,
teacher.
yes, I know what you're talking. Yep.
Is that the teacher?
No,
No.
he's talking about the little girl to the right of the teacher. She looks
There's
a
like-
little old.
There's like a little girl that's got on like heavy mascara and blown out hair.
Yeah, I have to work on that.
She looks like a little 80s mall rat.
Yeah, she does. He's right. Because I kind of knew exactly who he was talking about. I thought it might be Zoe because I had a lot of stress lines on her eyes, but that's because she's supposed to be like wrinkled and decrepit. And
Yeah.
But the one you're talking about, I thought she might have been a teacher when I first drew her, and I was like, I'm gonna go back anyways.
I think the Zoe on page 27 in the top panel is the way her nose is done.
Yeah.
Is really simple but really effective for being like, hey, look at this decomposing child.
and that's what I want. I want it to be much more like the Adult Swim type Aqua Teen.
That's excellent show to reference. That show's amazing.
But you know what I mean? They were cartoony and yet they were fantastic characters. It was hilarious. And they would get detailed when they wanted to. They could detail it up with ease because they were basically almost copy and pasting some stuff, it seemed. But
yeah. Well,
but the
I know you
themselves,
I know you hate Nickelodeon, and I have this gap in knowledge about SpongeBob, but I've had clients introduce me to it. They do a great job of going from really, really simple characters to doing these disgusting, grotesque detail paintings for like half a second close-up shots.
Yeah.
And it's
I think
awesome.
that may have started with Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah.
I know what you're talking about. Like they'll have a kind of a skeezy character, and when they zoom in, you see the holes in the teeth and the zits and it's so hilarious.
I think that is more Ren and Stimpy. You're right.
Yeah, well, I think they started it all. They were, God, I missed that show. They were so good. It was probably politically incorrect or something, but
it would never fly today. But it was there in a time when you could get away with it.
Well, I think those days are going to come back. I just don't know how long it's going to take. Yeah, old Well, when we were growing up, when Jace was growing up, I had a obsession against SpongeBob. I had it in my head that he was a cartoon from the Antichrist. I had read somewhere that it was tested that kids actually came out dumber after watching him. So in my house, Jace learned that SpongeBob was bad. He would make you. I believe I told you he would make you homosexual.
Yeah, I think it had something to do with the playing his flute nose thing, but.
And so the funny thing about this is when Diana and I got together and the girls moved in and Jason, the girls started hanging out. Jace, for instance, was allowed to play Resident Evil and watch South Park and rated R movies as long as it wasn't sexual. The girls put on SpongeBob and Jace goes, "No, this is bad." And Diana quickly started to tear apart my parenting. Why is that bad? You let him watch South Park.
I didn't see the sense in it.
Yeah, no, there was no sense in it.
Oh my God. Was
there
so
was,
like
totally confessatory here. I'm going to confess. There was
really?
No sense. It was just
kidding.
a weird little thing in my head, kind of like Christmas benches and not Christmas trees. Angels without halos, all that stuff.
I mean, we had odd things too. Like Disney Channel wasn't forbidden, but it was not preferred. So like, if I could hear Dad coming down the hall, coming home from work, it was like, "Quick, put Fox News back on! I can't be caught watching."
Son, you're
Timon
watching Fox Business News. Well, I'm proud of you. Thump, 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 thump. Down the hall you go.
Yeah, it would always be. I hear Dad. I'm going to put on Fox, and I'm just playing on the computer anyway. It's not like I was watching anything.
I would be so proud of him. I'd be like, he's such a good young man. And I'm sure I'd go back down the hall and Disney would come back on. And
no, because once you were home, I was afraid to put anything like that on. I was just like, well, that's it. I snuck as much Disney as I could for the day.
I have to say, when I look back, I think I was such a jerk, but some of that stuff is really funny.
It is really funny.
I was like such a confused papa. I'm so blessed that you didn't come out like totally bizarre.
I think it's good though, because it helped center me. Like I can look at far right leaning opinions and be like, no, I've been down that road. You don't want to start yelling about freedom fries.
I didn't believe SpongeBob was the Antichrist, Lorenzo. I believed that he was a character from the Antichrist intended to turn my son gay.
It's a Sleestakian Cubone.
Yeah.
That's so cute.
He's always got good artwork for his Sleestakian.
Mm-hmm.
Well, Cubone's my favorite Pokemon, so that just caught my eye. I was like, hey.
Lorenzo, you're exactly right. And my family can tell you there was a time when I was as kooky as any 80s satanic panic.
Hey, do you remember
Go ahead.
Do you remember when I was in 3rd grade and you introduced me to Dungeons and Dragons and told me about how cool it was, and we went down to that sci-fi place and I bought all of the manuals and a bunch of minis and figures, and then like two years later you wanted me to throw it all away and burn it because it was Satan and
it's evil. Get rid of it.
Yes, like, you turned me on to this. I spent so much of my allowance money on it.
Yep. I was prone to making extreme stands and just freaking out, and my poor family had to deal with it.
I remember you finding Christ and getting saved and doing we need to clean up our lives, and I was like, I'm 7.
Yeah. I don't care. No more dragons. No more evil. Remember how bad I was about dragons for about, 8 years, because of course the dragon is the beast in Revelation and it's referred to in a very bad way. So suddenly all dragons became evil to me, even though...
You know what?
What?
Oddly enough, I don't remember that.
Oh, yeah.
It might have been a thing, and I was just like, man, dragons are in Warcraft. I really like those. Aerial units are great.
Well, and that was my hypocrisy, because I loved them in Warcraft too. You know what I'm saying? It's like, yeah, I don't like dragons. Krista shouldn't draw dragons, but yet I would still... Yeah. There was no sense to it. In my old age, I've gotten better. I will tell you guys, Diana has slowly drugged me with something that has been eating at the back of my brain where all that stuff was.
Stop.
With some sort of mind control.
Stop.
Like when she reads certain things in German, I become a Winter Soldier.
Lorenzo, he did a nice job on that. I'm not going to listen to this nonsense.
No, that's an awesome avatar. But
yeah.
Gotham Knight is very talented.
Oh, is that? I've heard that name before. I've seen that.
Yeah, he's been in here. It's kind of funny because he has a voice very similar to Lorenzo, in my opinion, but he's always laughing. So he's always like,
yeah, he's a good guy.
Oh, is he the one that you were saying had a great laugh on Trash Compactor?
Yeah, they love him on the Trash Compactor just for his laugh. And he has said he's a midget. I don't know if that's true or if he's playing, but he said he's a little person. He's called himself a midget. I'm not like coming up with that on my own. But it's funny because I can just picture this little man sitting in front of his computer laughing his ass off every night. And it just kind of tickles me funny because he can be anywhere and find it funny. I don't know how he does it. He's just always laughing.
He's got the joy of life.
It's so funny.
I was just making sure I hadn't missed that. Because I can't read the chat. So if I click something, it enlarges it and then I can read it.
Oh, gotcha.
If I wore these, I could probably see it. But look how geeky I look with these on.
You look intelligent.
I'm a comic book guy. Really old and really cool. No, I don't think
My
so.
wife likes when I wear glasses. Someday when I actually need them, it'll be a good benefit.
Yeah.
Right now, I only wear them when I need my blue light blocking thing because I've been staring at a screen for too long.
I want special glasses with powers like Tony Stark's.
Of course you do.
I do.
Get the Echo Eyes or whatever, the new Amazon Assistant glasses.
Oh, I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, whatever.
One
of those things where
Apple needs to have one.
Yeah, the Apple Eye.
But they haven't done one yet, right?
Isn't that... There's a cartoon that literally did a parody of that where everyone was getting Apple devices installed in their eyes. I don't know if it was South Park or not.
It might have been. Wow, I feel really old with these. But you know what, guys? It's 9:30, and I do have to get off of this because I do have MCAS tomorrow.
Yeah,
and I need my resties.
I've had a 10-hour day. I've been chasing kids around for 9 of them. I'm exhausted. I gotta go to bed.
Yeah, it's.
I will, Lorenzo. I didn't know he did that. I guess he is really a short guy.
He said he used the term little person in the comments Lorenzo put.
Okay, so let's amend everything I said to little person because I want to make sure I don't upset him because he's funny. But I think I heard him say that maybe it was the guys in Trash Compactor that called him a midget. I don't know. Anyway, maybe it was just my imagination. I might have just called him it and kept it there.
Oh my God.
But listen, it's been a great show. We got Cyclopian going on. Cluster Fudge is fulfilled and fulfilling, showing up in mailboxes all around the country.
Yep. It's true. All around the country. We went to
Yeah.
quite a few states, different states.
We didn't have international orders, but we also didn't offer them this route.
Right. We did not. Yeah.
I don't think I'll offer them again unless I find a way to.
Well, we got PDFs. They did. We had Canada
we got
and
PDFs.
Australia. I think we had 2 people buy our book PDF version. So that was cool.
And I mean, that's always a welcomed option. A lot of Europeans like that, but we could end up. I don't know. There's been deals made between creators before that I would get into where. You distribute their book, they distribute your book in their country because it's just cheaper. If I ordered it from Amazon Direct or the printer direct, I can ship everything in America a lot easier than it is for someone in Europe and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But we're way, way away from that. I'm not even thinking that. I know one guy who makes comics in Britain, and I don't know him well, but I know him enough to know that he's done it before.
Mm-hmm.
He got screwed from what I understand, but he's done it before. So yeah, maybe it's not a good thing to get involved in because a lot of people get screwed when they try to do it.
Well, we're not going to be doing that anytime soon, are we?
You're the business manager, not me, babe.
No,
I just come up with these wonderful
That's
ideas.
up to me. No.
You still haven't done anything about the teleporter, so you're not a very good manager. I requested a teleporter 3 months ago. I haven't even seen.
It's not in the budget.
Okay, it's not. I gotta go. Listen, guys, I gotta go. I got a phone call to make.
Yeah,
no,
you're just diving.
My bed is calling me. I'm so tired.
So listen, just to do this, now Lorenzo has a show on Thursday nights at 8 p.m. You can catch the link on Twitter, but I believe it's on YouTube and Facebook. But check it out. He's got a great artist who draws the whole show. Topics are ever varying, and yeah, it's entertaining. If you got nothing better to do, it's a great listen. I like to listen to the show when I'm drawing. Yeah, I just wanted to mention that because if he was here, I know he'd want to plug his show, so I'm going to do it for him.
He said good night.
Perfect.
Yeah. Anyways, so good night, everybody.
Good night, guys.
We love you, and we look forward to the next stream. Yeah.
Yep, absolutely.
Good night.